बोलो श्री शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय शरणम. So we'll try that again, right? Because I alone say Jai just now. Did anybody say Jai just now? You say yes, but I didn't hear it. What is happening there? You still Baba me because the system government. No. If you said it and you said it wholeheartedly, then I will definitely hear, right? So let's try that one more time. Bolo Shri Adi Shakti Jagdamba Mata Ki Jai. When we chant, we must chant collectively. When we chant, we must chant loudly. When we chant, we must chant with faith, with love and devotion. Devotees, special Sitaram, Namaste, special welcome to each and every one of you here tonight. Tonight we are here to join in devotions as we begin our first of 9 nights of devotion to the lotus-like feet of that Divine Mother, Adi Shakti Jagdamba Mata, God in the form of the Divine Mother. As we would pray today, we would pray wholeheartedly, thinking of God like our own mother. Say, God, today I am seeing you in the form of my own mother. The Vedas tell us, the scriptures say, Matra Devo Bhava. Says, honor thy mother as God. Our mother, our physical mother, becomes our first walking, talking God that we know upon the face of the earth. So it is said that if you can't pay respects to your own mother, then what sense in me coming and sitting by the Bidi and offering puja? Or saying, God, thank you. What sense in me at that point in time? Does it make any sense? Say, no, Baba. Right, multiple choice. Very good, right? Right? It makes no sense. You want to make sure that you are paying respects to the physical ones that you have first. The mother, the father, and so forth. Until you have their blessings, then it makes no sense. You come here and you say, well, I'm worshiping the God that is unseen. You have God that is seen in your own home. If you are fortunate enough to have your parents with you. If not, well then, you don't have a choice. But if you have them, we must cherish them. That is important. So for the period of these 9 days, we are going to go through Katha. Now, I don't ever plan my Katha because I want it to flow however the divine wants it to flow, right? So I become a vessel and allow that knowledge to flow basically. But I know where I want to start. And we start from there and then we will see how it flows afterwards, right? So I'm starting from way at the beginning, somewhere in the beginning. When that divine goddess was still in the form of Sati Devi, tonight we're going to hear a beautiful Katha. In the form of Sati Devi, we're going to hear about Lord Bhagwan Shiva. As we understand, one of the first divine forms of that divine goddess that we all know. From there, as the nights go by, we will talk about various forms and the types of worship that we do and all of that. Anybody here knows what Devi is worshipped today in the Navratri? Anybody except Jennifer? Except anybody on the stage here? What do we say? One name? I'm not hearing. Yeah, don't afraid to say it. I live in Mukdar home. Don't afraid to say it. Right? We worship Shaila Putri. Okay. Well, Baba, we worship Shaila Putri. Who is Shaila Putri? I don't know, Baba, but tell me we're white today. Right? They say we're white. Shaila Putri, some people say, they say we're peach. And somebody said, you know what other color is that we're, right? Okay, all well and fine. I wear colors according to the days because the energy it matches and the vibration and flows, right? So it's so nice to see so many of you who connected with us with the same color today as well. So Shaila Putri, the first day of this Navratri, there are 4 main Navratris that comes in a year. Do you know that? Say yeah? Really? So why we celebrate 2? So okay. So we have 4 main Navratris, but we celebrate 2 mainly, right? And the major one is this one that we are currently in. So we have the Chaitra Navratri that would have gone between March, April around there, and then we have this one now that we are celebrating. This Navratri, during this period, 9 Devis are worshipped. Yes? We understand that? Then why do we say 3 Devis are worshipped? What if I tell you 1 Devi is worshipped? Baba, Bapre. I hear one Pandit saying one thing, next one saying next thing, you say next thing, Bapre, Bap. I done with this thing. I can't make what to do and what not to do. What to do and what not to do. Hey, do anything you want now, Jai Bhagwan. You don't have to do everything. This religion, this practice that we have is so beautiful. We have so many scriptures. Choose one. Bapre. Take one and practice one. But we ain't practicing none. But Baba, so much I don't know which one to practice. But you have started practicing one yet. That making any sense? Our scriptures, the knowledge, the philosophy that is contained is so beautiful and it's open to everyone. Let's put it in this context, right? So, you like to eat ice cream? Do you like to eat ice cream? Yes? No? Some of us, right? Some of us have diabetes. Don't eat ice cream, huh? Right? Right? So some of us like ice cream. Okay. How many people like chocolate ice cream? Bapre. It's me and Dimo. And Amrita is so sure, right? He in between. Right? He probably wants chocolate chip. He ain't sure, right? I'm going to prove a point to you. I'm using normal, simple English terminologies to be able to explain to you, right? So, we like chocolate. Somebody like peanut. I'll give only a hint. Peanut, right? Favorite. Somebody like strawberry. Say, yeah, Baba, that's myself. Well, you know, what can you like? Coconut? Pistachio? The point is, how many flavors are there? You go to an ice cream shop now, how many flavors you can choose from? Many, right? You want to watch a movie, you go on Netflix, how many movies you can choose now? Sometimes I go and have so many movies, me I know which one to watch. And that's not even a joke, that's a serious thing. There's so much variety that you can choose anything. I remember a time when you put on the TV, what the TV have you watch? And you stay quiet. I watched the same VHS over and over for months. Same movie. Every time you watch it, kya baat hai, wonderful. You're watching the same thing over and over and over. Now we have variety and you have choices, right? This tradition called Sanatan Dharma is so beautiful, right? That you have choices, dear devotees. And you must understand this. If you go to India, there are many different traditions that are followed in different parts of India. You know what we do in Trinidad and Tobago? We want to take everything everybody do and do it in Trinidad. You living in Trinidad. Why we don't burn the dead body and put it to float in the water, like what they do on the Ganges? And we run and going to drink Ganges water. And you have water right here to drink. Oh, good, me with this one. I want bottled water. Bottled water. I don't want, right? I don't want tap water, right? We get fancy now, right? What I'm trying to say to you is that we have so much to be grateful for. We have so much to use for ourselves. Don't complain about what you don't have. Don't complain at all. Appreciate what it is you actually have. You have Durga Devi you worship. You have Lakshmi Devi you worship. Not only when time you want money, you're running going by Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Mata, Lakshmi Maya, Utare Teri Arati Arti and so on. Oh God, you only seen gold and diamond and pearls. And you only watching in your eyes. Internally now, you're not seeing externally, but you're seeing it internally now. Right? When you want knowledge, when do we pray to Saraswati Mata? Baba will tell you when things hard, when exam and thing come up. They call me, Baba, which Saraswati mantra can I chant? I have an exam to write. Where you was all here? That is what I will ask you. Now you come in to look for Saraswati mantra. You think Saraswati Mata want to see you now? I'm very practical. For those of you, don't get frightened if you don't know me. Don't get frightened. But I'm very realistic. I'm not about gimmick. I'm not about falsehood. I don't believe in those things. I'm not coming in top of here to sit here in front of a scripture to lie and to fool and manipulate you. I'm here to help you to grow. That's my purpose. That's why I was born, right? I'm here to educate you and enlighten you. And through these 9 days, I'm going to share so much wonderful knowledge and information with you. And I hope that you'll pay close attention and take that knowledge. So who do we really worship? You worship one Devi devotee through this Navratri. That's perfectly fine. Because there's one divine, and from that divine is an expression coming in various manifestations. So if you worship one Devi, fine. If you say, well, 3 days we worship Durga, 3 days Lakshmi Saraswati, 3 days Saraswati, fine. All well and fine. You say 9 Devis for the 9 days, all well and fine. But sometimes you start to go down a path where it becomes so complicated that it becomes difficult and you don't want to do it. You have to figure out which Devi and what offerings that Devi I have to offer for that Devi, and you're going all over to try to find the things that you have to offer and you can't even find it in Trinidad, and oh God, what am I going to do now? How many weird things do people come in the puja shop and ask you for sometimes, Jennifer, and you're wondering, where do I find this? You're wondering and you have the store, you know what I mean? The point is, don't complicate the process. God is there for everybody. Devotion is there for everybody. But find a path that is simple that you can follow. If you have a guru that can guide you, all well and fine. You don't have one, find one. Right? Follow one path. Somebody come to me, well, Baba, well, I want your opinion. I asked 5 other pundits, but I want your opinion. Oh, really? Jai Bhagwan. To now contradict what everybody else told you? Now you're going to get more confused. When I'm going to tell you something completely different. You're going to get confused. Then the question is, Baba, well, why everybody just say different thing? And there's one book they're reading. We don't have one book. You know how many scriptures it have? Do you know how many scriptures it have? If 10 doctors go to school, right? When you go by the doctor office, why 10 of them going to give you different things when you go by them? Ever wonder? Baba, I wonder. Same concept. Everybody has a different level of expertise. Everybody has a different level of awareness, a different level of experience. Everybody you go to is going to be different. You are not going to get the same thing. Maybe it may be similar for most, but it would not be the same thing because their perspective is going to be different. So during this period, you worship any Devi that you feel comfortable with. But we are going to talk about a few of the main ones as we go along, as I said, throughout this period. And you'll gain a little more understanding about the type of worship you do, the mantras that we chant, what it means, so that you can understand, okay, when I'm chanting this, okay, now it makes a little more sense. You know, I hear people chanting the mantras now, sometimes they change the word to suit them. You know? For example, there's this mantra, you know, all the notice mantras. How does it go? Om Siddhi Buddhi Bhukti Mukti. I hear Pandit chanting Bhakti Mukti. Baap re baap. You want some bhakti. That's what you want. Right? Not knowing the meaning or understanding what you are saying is a big problem because you say all kind of thing when you're saying it, right? What does Bhukti mean? They say, no, it's not a word like Bhukti. It had to be Bhakti because that's the word I know. Bhukti means that Divine Mother Lakshmi Devi, she will grant you success in all things upon the face of the earth. Bhulok. In this physical realm. So everything has a meaning. So we'll try to go through some of these things. I'm just prepping you all, you know. We'll go through some of the mantras and understand, okay, when I chant this in my house, I now know what this actually means. I now know why I am actually doing this. I'm not just going to do it because somebody tell me do it. Because mommy and daddy say I have to do it. A couple days ago, a parent telling me, she said, well, I'm telling my son to do this. And I tell him he have to do it. Once you're living under my roof, you have to do it. And then I said, no, that's not the right method. Do it and show them by example. Do it with them. Don't send them in the mother a new home. You know what I mean? These different kind of things. Do it with them. Hold their hands and walk. If you show them, you lead by example, it will make a difference. Don't just tell somebody to do something that you yourself are not practicing and you're not doing. Devotees, at this point in time, we make preparation as we will begin this evening with our opening Arati. I ask all of you, please, Arati ke liye kara ho jaye. Because when I start talking, we'll go straight to the katha and we wouldn't continue here. So let's do this and then we'll continue. Gananam tva ganapatigum havamahi kavim kavinamuvamashravastamam jeshtarajam brahmanam brahmanaspata anashvanvannutvisiddha sadhanam. Om Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Janti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We join in our beautiful arati now. Om Sajam Travarti Sanyukta Mahina Yojitam Maya Deepam Grana Devasha Trailokyam Timirapaham Deepam Darishyami. Jayam Be Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri. Jayam Be Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri. Jayam Be Gauri Maya Jai Shama Gauri. तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी.
तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी.
जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी. सिंदूर विराजत दीको निगमद को. मांग सिंदूर विराजत दीको निगमद को. उज्ज्वल से दो नैना चंद्र बदननी को. मैया कनक समान कलेवर रतांबर राजे. कनक समान कलेवर रतांबर राजे. रक्त पुष्प गलमाला कंदन पर साजे. मैया जय अम्बे गौरी. Sing the Buddhist. के हरि वाहन राज
राजत करग कबरधारी के हरि वाहन राजत गदग कपरधारी सुर नर मुनि जन सेवत तिनके दुख हरी मैया
जय अम्बे गौरी जय जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी जय जय श्यामा गौरी
कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती कानन कुंडल शोभित नासाग्रे मोती कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर राजत समझोते मैया जय अम्बे गौरी
जय जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी जय जय श्यामा गौरी
शुम्भ निशुम्भ विरारे महिषासुर गते शुम्भ निशुम्भ विरारे महिषासुर गते दुम्र विलोचन नैना निश दिन मदमाते मैया जय अम्बे गौरी जय श्यामा गौरी
जय अम्बे गौरी जय जय श्यामा गौरी
चंद मुंद संहारे शोनित बीज हरे चंद मुंद संहारे शोनित बीज हरे मधु के तब दो मारे सुर में ही न करे मैया जय अम्बे गौरी जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो
जय अम्बे गौरी जय जय श्यामा गौरी
ब्रह्मानी रुद्रानी तुम कमला रानी ब्रह्मानी रुद्रानी तुम कमला रानी अगम निगम बकानी तुम शिव पतरानी मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी बोलो श्यारी शक्ति जन्म माता की जय नारायण आराम से बैठिए devotees, seat yourselves most comfortably. Not too comfortable to sleep away. That's why we call it stretch a little bit just now, you know. I want to make sure you all are waking for the entire session. But this katha tonight, hopefully the time permits us enough, right? Hopefully the time permits us enough. This katha is a little bit lengthy, but I'll try to give you it in summary because this is going to be the preparation for all the other kathas that we hear through this period. As I told you before, today we're going to talk about that divine mother in the form of Sati Devi. Who is Sati Devi? Sati Devi is that divine mother incarnated
Adi Parashakti, that universal mother, incarnated as the daughter of Daksha. Daksha, at this point in time, Daksha is actually one of the sons of Brahmaji, right? At this point in time, he is known as Prajapati or the Prajapati. What is a Prajapati? Prajapati is the ruler of the world. So like you have a king. So just now we had a queen that passed away. But this king now rules the entire world. So he takes care and oversees everything and makes sure that everything is in order. So that's what the Prajapati used to be in those times, right? So Daksh, he was a Prajapati. So they call him Daksha Prajapati. Right? He had a daughter by the name of Sati Devi. And this is the prelude. So basically, having this daughter, she was born to become the consort of Lord Shiva. We know this, yes? Being destined to become the consort of Lord Shiva, what happens is that Daksh doesn't really like Lord Shiva too much. And he has his own reasons why. Because Brahmaji and Lord Shiva at this point had already had a fallen out. What was the fallen out? That's another katha for another time. That comes from Shiv Puran. But nevertheless, at one point in time in Shiv Puran, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma, as a matter of fact, they were searching in this light. I'm just making it simple for you. To find where the beginning was and where the end was, right? They were trying to find who is the greater out of the two of them. Lord Shiva appeared and told them, well, you know, whoever finds either end of the light will then, you know, it has to be you, because at the end of the day, if you find it, well. They went in both different directions, right? So Brahmaji, he had his vehicle as a swan. Lord Vishnu, he went in the other direction. So the one where the swan went up, Lord Vishnu took the form of a bow and he went down. Trying to find the end of this light, can't find the end of the light. Brahmaji does some little simidimi now and he tries to tell a lie. With that being said, he comes back and he says he found the end of the light. He found the end. Lord Shiva, through his third eye, he saw and he knew that he was lying, and he removed one of the heads of Brahma. And there was a shrap that was placed on Brahma that he will never be worshipped again. Have you ever seen Brahma Puja? Exactly. Right? There was a shrap placed that he would not be worshipped. Nevertheless, time passed and now Daksh, he's holding a grudge against Lord Shiva, or he did this and whatever. Such is the Leela of life, devotees. Sometimes you do something and somebody holds that against you for the rest of your life. Yeah? Not so? Say, Baba, if I tell you, no, don't tell me, it's okay. But let go of that. We want to grow, we want to move forward from that, right? Yes, sometimes people will hold things against you for your entire life, and for no reason whatsoever, they will be able to let it go. Lord Shiva did what he had to do. That was part of the Leela. Brahmaji understood, but Daksha Prajapati, now upon the face of the earth, he did not understand. So he didn't like Lord Shiva. Plus he's saying Lord Shiva, you know, call him vagabond. No, he's a fella, Lord Shiva don't like no sort of jewels, and he don't have no kingdom and palace. He lives where? Kailash Parvat, Kailash mountain. Sometimes he's all in the forest area, all of these different things. Sometimes he resides on, where again? Anybody knows? Yeah, cremation site and all of these different things as well. There are different forms and there are different realms where Lord Shiva will take residence. So with that, normally that's why a lot of his devotees smear their body with ashes and all of that, right? Bhasma, they call it, right? So, Daksha didn't like Lord Shiva and he was like, that for my daughter to be my son-in-law? None of you shouldn't take that to heart, because at the end of the day, many of us are just like that also. Not so? When you want son-in-law, ooh, Shah Rukh Khan. Right? Not so? You have to be good looking, you have to have a nice job, you have to have a nice big house, you have to have a nice big car. You ain't start to watch what your daughter have. No offense to anybody, I'm saying it's the truth. There are people out here like that. You ain't watch what you have, what your daughter has, but oh, I want the best and I want it to be this way and I want it to be that way. Become the best. Don't just search for the best, become the best. Create the best. Make your child the best. When your child is the best, they will attract the best at the end of the day. Right? Have them involved in their samskaras and all of these different things. Have them involved in their sadhana, their spiritual practice. Develop them. Don't watch others and judge others and oh, this one like that and that one like that. Daksh is making the same mistake. Shivaji, oh no, Shivaji, nah. Shiva? I don't want you to worship him. I don't want you to love him. But Sati already has this love inside of her stirring up. The Larki folk. Have you ever felt that before? You find this kind of love stirring up inside and you're like, oh God, this is the one. Auntie and them say, shaking their head and saying, yes, this is the one. The younger ones wouldn't shake their head. No, Baba, no. Not at all. This thing, I don't know this thing. Right? That love stirs up, and when it stirs up, what happens? It becomes so overwhelming sometimes that you know that, oh, that is the person that I love and that is the person I want to marry. Yes? We're talking in simple terms, not modern terms. Right? Nowadays, real different. Don't get into that, right? You fall in love. Similarly, Sati Devi is feeling this fire in her heart. The Satan nowadays turns out they said, one was lit in her heart. Right? So she's feeling this fire in her heart and she's feeling this for Lord Shiva. So she wants to worship Lord Shiva. She wants to be with Lord Shiva. She wants to get married to Lord Shiva. And her father says, no. Ever seen in a movie like that before? Where you think they get it from? Where you think it come from, these scriptures? I'm telling you, where you think it come from? Right? They don't want you to get married at all. No, not that boy, right? The boy you love? No, don't marry. Marry the one that I choose for you. Same thing here now. Daksh is saying, Sati, don't worship Shiva. I will never allow you to worship Shiva. Worship. He wants her to worship his Ishtadevata, which is none other than Lord Vishnu. So he tells Sati, he says, worship. He locks her in a room and he says, he gives her 1,000 blue lotus flowers and say, I want you to write a name on that. Prove to me. Because Sati wants to fulfill the wish of her father as well because she loves him. She says, I'll do it. No problem. I'll do it. I wouldn't fight with you, right? Because she doesn't want to lose her father. So she becomes the obedient daughter and she says, I'm going to do it. He locks her in a room, gives her 1,000 blue lotus flowers and says, write the name of Lord Vishnu on all of those lotus flowers. Sati starts to write. And she's writing with love, tears in her eyes, and she's crying and she's writing with faith, with love and devotion. Here she's not just writing about somebody that she loves, but she's writing about Bhagwan, not so? She's writing about God. That's like somebody come and tell you in your life, don't pray to God, or don't believe God in that God, believe in my one. Right? Let me show you how true faith overpowers anything. What happens is that she starts to write and she starts to write, but in her heart she has the faith, love and devotion. But who is in her heart? Again, remind me. In her heart is Shivaji. But she's writing, materially she's writing, Om Namo Narayanaya Namaha. She's writing the name of Lord Vishnu. She's writing the name of Lord Vishnu. She is so happy. She completes this task and she's excited to tell her father, Papa, I have completed the task that you have given to me. And I have wrote the name of Lord Vishnu 1,000 times. The father comes in when he gets this news immediately and he picks up the flower and as he looks at it, he watches that flower and in dismay, while he looks to see that name of Lord Vishnu, what does he see? He sees, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya,
Hari Om Namah Shivaya,
Hari Om Namah Shivaya,
Hari Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om Namah Shivaya.
So he sees on that flowers, instead of saying Om Namo Narayana Namaha, it says Om Namah Shivaya. Well, he face now, way Jai Bhagwan. That face get rosy red like you eat some real hot pepper. You know how your ears are going to start a few months smoke? His ears start a few months smoke like that now and he's angry. I gave you a task and you tell me you did it and you wrote the name of Shiva. She could not get Shiva out of her heart because Shiva is her love. Shiva is God for her. She knows it, she feels it, she experiences it, she understands it. There's nothing in this world and this universe that can change what she feels in her heart. Some people come to me sometimes, Baba, what God to pray to? And then I'll say, before I check a book to tell you, what is in your heart? Because the God that is in your heart, I may tell you to pray the next one. But the God that is in your heart, that one is there for a reason. Connect with that divinity. Realize, understand, why am I feeling connected to this God? Sometimes you feel connected to Lord Hanuman. You feel connected to Lord Shiva. You feel connected to the Divine Mother. There's a connection for a reason. Don't wait for somebody to tell you which God to have a connection with. that is coming from somewhere in your past life. You are already connected. Enhance that connection. He reads and he sees this and he gets angry. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Bolo Shrimad Mahadev ki Jai. Alright, so that was the prelude there now. So now she keeps writing, and what happens now? Eventually, Lord Vishnu, as much as he tries to get her to worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu eventually appears because he's the Ishdevata of Daksh Prajapati. And he says, Daksh, allow her to worship Shiva. She has to become the consort. You can't change that. She's destined to become the consort of Lord Shiva. That is her purpose. You can't change her. No, I don't want her to be the consort. No, it can't. She's the divine mother incarnated for a role and a purpose. And live devotees, you are also here for a purpose. You are here for a significant reason. There is nobody born on this earth to see trouble. Baba boy, like I born to suffer. That doesn't sound familiar? People come to me sometimes, Baba, I feel I'm born to suffer. No, you didn't. You wasn't. You are born for greatness. God has allowed you to take incarnation, to come here for a reason. Figure it out. Understand why you are here. And fulfill that purpose. Don't live your entire life purposelessly. Live it purposefully. Figure it out. What is your calling? Thank God I found mine early. I believe that with all my heart and soul. Find yours and fulfill it. Go after it. No matter who tells you what, no matter who says you can't do this, you can't be that, you can't be the next, you can be and achieve anything that you want to if you really put your mind to it, devotees. Everybody has their own beliefs, and I'm telling you, I've seen this because I have done it and I've helped other people to do it and achieve it as well. That is why my lifelong mission and goal is to impact the lives of 1 million people. To help them to become the best version of themselves. To realize who they are. To understand that you are divinity expressing itself in human form. That same divine Shakti, that divine Devi is seeing there. Where do you think she is? She's right here. She's right here. In all of us. She's not some Devi that is unseen, that you don't know, that you've never heard about before. So Daksh, when he hears from his Ishdevata, Lord Vishnu, he has to listen now. He has no choice there now. He listens, and eventually Sati Devi gets married. And time passes now. And what happens? Something is about to happen here, devotees. What happens? Dakshaliye muni boli sab karna lage barjag Nevate sadar sakala sura je pavat mak bhag. Daksh Prajapati got together with all the saints and sages and they began a yagna, right? They began this long ago. In those times, it would have not been like this. You think that this is the proper word, actually, proper pronunciation of the word in Sanskrit is yagna. Can you say that? Say after me. Say yagna. We just say yagna. We say jug. Nowadays it become jog. J-U-G. Jog. No. Proper Sanskrit pronunciation. Yagna. That's how it's pronounced, right? Like we say gyan, and when we talk about gyan in that's the Awadhi language. You say gyan. Gyan means knowledge, right? Jnana in Sanskrit means knowledge, not gyan. So in the Sanskrit language, it's very different, the pronunciation, so that's very important. So what is yagna? It means a sacrifice. In simple terms, but what sort of sacrifice? The efforts that you make towards hosting something and having something like this where people come and partake and benefit from. In those times, they would have done various rituals they would have a big kund. Like how we do Havan. Havan kund we have there. They have a big one. And they will make oblations and they will chant mantras and they will offer into the fire. So Daksh prepared for this great yagna. Having it now, he invited all of the gods to partake. He called everybody except one person. He did not invite Shiva. Why? Because there was a little falling out. We'll hear about that later on. At this point in time here, devotees, he's about to have this worship, this puja. Sati Devi and Lord Shiva, they are in Kailash Parvat. And while they are there, something is happening. What is happening? Let's sing and chant together as you listen to these beautiful verses.
तुम ही मेरे मंदिर, तुम ही मेरी पूजा, तुम ही देवता हो, तुम ही देवता हो। जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया। सिंह
जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया।
किन्नर नाग सिद्ध गंधर्वा, बधून समेत चले सुर सर्वा। विष्णु विरंचि महेशु विहाई, चले सकल सुर जान बनाई। जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया।
जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया।
सती विलोके बेमाना, जात चले सुंदर बेदीनाना। सुर सुंदरी कर ही कल गाना, सुनत श्रवण तू दही मुनि जाना। जय दुर्गा मैया,
जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया।
पूछे तब शिव कहे बकानी, पीता यज्ञ सुनी कछु हर सानी। जो महेशु मोहि आयस देहि, कछु दिन जाइरा होने सही। जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया, जय दुर्गा मैया। बोलो श्री शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की। Right, I want to hear it Jay. Yeah? Jay is important, as I told you in the beginning, right? So, you see when you chant, you're not chanting for my benefit. Eh? Like, when you eat food, who benefit you eating it for? My benefit? No, you eat for your benefit. So how you expect me to eat now, spiritually, and you want to benefit? What kind of thing is this? When I chant the mantra, Devi Mata is saying, oh, Balmesh is chanting. Oh, you understand? But when you chant, she's hearing that, you are chanting. So it's important for you to do Nam San Kirtana. So don't be afraid to chant, right? Because you will benefit greatly from that. So Daksh arranges for his Yagna, as I told you. Having this now, Kinar Nag Siddha Gan Dharba. Baduna Samet Chale Surasarba. So Kinaras, serpents, Gandharvas, the celestial musicians, all these different beings from different realms, they are invited. So they are all going now, right? With their wives and stuff. Vishnu Viramchi Maheshu Bihai. So even Lord Vishnu now is going, right? No, sorry. Vishnu Viramchi Maheshu Bihai Chale Sakalasura Jana Banai. All of the gods except Lord Vishnu, except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. They are going in their aerial cars, their aerial chariots, and they are proceeding. So now, what is happening? Sati below ke Vyoma Bimana. Sati Devi sees now. So long ago, where do you think airplane and thing come from? You feel that was invented now? So she saw these aerial chariots flying, Vimanas they call them, right? Seeing these things flying, Jat Chale Sundar Bidi Nana. Passing in various patterns beautifully in the sky. She sees this.
Sur Sundari Karahi Kalagana Sunata Shravana Chutahi Muni Dhyana. And these heavenly nymphs, they are singing so beautifully that it is said that the sound of it is so beautiful that even the saints who are in meditation, the sages, they could become disturbed by how beautiful the singing is. Some great feat, some great event is about to take place, because if this is happening, so she's wondering and she's asking. So what happens? Pucheu tabashiva kayu bakani. So she asks Lord Shiva now, she asks him, what is happening? What is all of this about? Because she knows he has the ability to see, to know, to understand that which is beyond. Pita jagya suni kachu harasani. Now he says, well, your father is having a yagna, and this is where everybody is going. Jau mahesu mohi ayasu dehi kachu dinajai raho miseihi. Now, before you understand this, you must understand something. At this point in time, I told you that her father was already a little bit angry with Lord Shiva, right? For another reason now. This year now is not because of Brahmaji and the head and all of this. Is for another reason now, which you'll hear shortly. But here now, they are not in communication. So she's not in communication with her father. They are not visiting, vice versa, none of those things. But here now, she hears her father is having a yagna, and she doesn't even think. She doesn't even say, well, I wonder, I was not invited. We were not invited. She says, well, that's the home of my father. She's thinking in her mind now, And she says, well, Jau Mahe Sumohi Ayasurehi, if Lord Shiva allows me to go. Right? Kachu Dinna Jai Rahu Missa Ehi. I will go and I will stay there for a few days with my folks, my parents and so forth. That is what she's thinking of here right now. But on the other hand, her father is not thinking that. Her father is thinking, well, I intentionally did not invite Shiva and Sati. He's aware of that, right? She's not thinking that because she has love in her heart. While on the other hand, he is thinking differently because in his heart, he has something else. Not only in his heart, in his head, which you'll hear about later on. He has something called Abhiman. He has this false pride, right? That he thinks he's better than even Lord Shiva himself. So here now, Pati Parityag Hridaya Dukhabhari, but because she's still grieving from the previous separation with Lord Shiva, so it had times in Shiv Katha where Sati Devi and Lord Shiva would have become separated. How so? Sometimes she tell a little lie and he separates from her for 87,000 years. Bapre Bap, exactly my point. She tells a lie and 87,000 years. I'm going into meditation, and then he comes out. But in their timing, there's a different kind of time, right? For us, that is going to be Jai Bhagwan, right? See, don't lie, not good. So here now, she remembers this last separation. It was for 87,000 years. So she doesn't want to now approach him. She has to approach very carefully because she doesn't want to say something that will cause another separation, right? So, kahe na nija aprada bichari. So, the same reason why he would have abandoned her. She's conscious and she's still aware of this. Boli sati manoharabani. So now, she decided that she's going to speak in very, very wonderful, beautiful, and very persuasive tones. How Dulahinda speak when they want something from the Dulaha? Amrit, you know what I'm thinking about? How do they speak when they want something? I wonder. Huh? Do darling. That's what you call it now? No? Sundar? You call it Sundar and thing? No? And I ever tell you how handsome you is? Look how nice you looking. When last you watched in the mirror? Because they want something that, pass your wallet now. Let me get a little something there. Right? So, starts to speak in very beautiful tones, sweet voice now. Oh, says, Mahadev, my dear one, my Lord, my Swami, mera Swami, mera Antarayami. So, such beautiful tones now she's speaking. Bhai Sankocha Prema Rasa Sani. I'm not kidding. Right here it says, overflowing with lots of modesty and affection, and like she's in so much awe, like she's seen him for the first time. With such love, such humility, she's speaking there now. Right? Like roses is flowing from the lips of her, right? I ain't no poet, just telling you. But it's so beautiful. I'm trying to explain how wonderful this thing is. Honey is dripping from her lips now, right? She speaks and she says, right? Pita bhavana utsav parama jau prabhu aya suhui. There's great rejoicing at my father's home. Right? If, here she says it, if my Lord is so graciously pleased to allow me, tau main jau kripayatana sadar dekana soi. I will duteously go, right? By performing her duty, I will go so respectfully and lovingly, and I will see it. Oh, kya baat hai. You know about this, right? Because that's exactly how it comes to you. So she says it so beautifully here now, and as she says that, Lord Shiva says something. What does he say? Let's chant. Dum Durge Mata, Om Shakti Mata. Bolo.
Durge Mata.
Let's clap.
Om
Together.
Shakti Mata.
Dum Durge Mata, Om Shakti Mata. Bolo.
Durge Mata. Om Shakti Mata.
कहे हो नीक मुरे हो मन भावा यह अनुचित नहीं नेवत बतावा दक्ष सकल निज सुता बोलाई हमरे बयर तुम हो बिसराई
Durge Mata. Om Shakti Mata. Durge Mata. Om Shakti Mata.
ब्रह्मा सभा हम सन दुख माना तेहि ते अजहु करही अपमाना जो बिनु बोले जहु भवानी रहे न सीलु सने हुन कानी तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति माता लो
Durge Mata. Om Shakti Mata.
ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता लो श्यारी शक्ति ब्रह्मा माता की जय. Well, I lift any hands, but I'm hearing the voice still. Well, I guess it's one step at a time, right? You lift the hands now and the voice will come in, right? So, here now, what happens? Lord Shiva speaks now and he says, Kahe hu nika more hu manabhava. Your suggestion is good. Your suggestion is very good. So he's also speaking very lovingly now because he had to be aware, you know. Baap re baap. You can't make Dulahin angry and think, hey, you have to be very, very careful. And he knows that that is Adi Shakti, the Divine Mother. You watch Dulahin them these days, them real dangerous. Imagine for Adi Shakti Jagrama Mata. Fellas, take note. Right? Imagine the power that she houses. He has to be very careful in what he's saying, right? So he says, your suggestion is good, right? And it will also please me, right? Yaha anuchita nahi nevata patava. Daksha sakala nija suta bolai hamare bayar tumahu bisarai. But what is improper is Daksha, your father has not invited you. He says, I and him, we have our little situation where he's angry with me, but he did not invite you even. Because of that situation that he has with me. That is unfair. That is improper, he says. He left you out because of that little quarrel that he has with me. Brahma Sabha Hama Sanduku Mana. One time he took offense in the court of Brahmaji. Tehi te ajahu karahi apamana. And that's why he still has this behavior towards me this day. To this day. What happened is that at one point in time, Lord Shiva walked into that. He was in that court, He was seated there in that court of Brahmaji, and Daksh Prajapati would have walked in there. And when Daksh walked in, he would have paid respects to everybody, right? He didn't pay respects to Shiva. He wanted Shiva to pay respects to him because he's saying in his mind, Shiva is his son-in-law. But everybody there knows Shiva to be Bhagwan and refers to him there. He wants Shiva to get up and pay respects to him. You ever see more? False pride. That is called Abhiman. So here now, this is what he's referring to. Jau binu bole, jahu bhavani, rahe nasilu sannehu nakani. Bhavani. If you go there uninvited, there will be loss of self-respect and honor. So he's instructing and he's telling her, there will be loss. Affection, everything will just go out of the window because he can see, Bhagwan knows, he understands. Right? What may happen if she goes there? Jarapi mitra prabhu pitu gurageha. And he says something very important. I want everybody to take note of this tonight. If it's one thing you remember. He says, Jarapi mitra prabhu pitu gurageha jai binu bole huna samdeha. One may certainly go go uninvited. So one may certainly go uninvited to the homes of Prabhu, in this context a master, Pitu, right? That is your father and Gura. Gura here means guru. May definitely go uninvited to the home of a master, a father, or guru. Hey, I'll call man thing before I come. I don't show up uninvited. Right? I may not be home now, that's why. Right? So, with that being said, it says one may definitely go uninvited. This is the important part, right? Tarapi birodh man jaha koi, taha gaye kalyan na hoi. But no good can come from going to a place where someone holds a grudge against you. Sometimes people call me and they say, Baba, well, you know, I want to go in this place and I have this little falling out with this individual. Plenty of people say that sometimes. But there's somebody there that, you know, dislikes me and whatever, but I want to go. If it's their environment, don't go. If it's their environment, don't go. You want to be dishonored? You want to be disrespected? If you are disrespected, then it is you and you alone are responsible for that. Because I didn't make it up. Bhagwan says that. Listen. Says, Bhamti anek sambhu samajava. So he explains. He tells her, and you know, she's not hearing anything. All she's hearing is my father is Yagna, my father is Yagna. She's not hearing what Lord Shiva is saying, right? Bhavi basa nanyanu ura ava. The wisdom would not dawn on her at all. You know, sometimes he's saying, but for no reason whatsoever, it's clicking, right? Ka prabhu jahu jo bina hi bulai nahi bhali bata hamare bhai. And then the Lord says, as he says to go there, in my opinion, without being invited, it is not right. So he tells her and he tells her and he tells her, and it reaches that point where he speaks and, well, she's not listening. Kahi dekha har jatna bahu rahe na daksha kumari diye mukya gana sangatab bida keenha tripurari. So Lord Shiva did everything that he could have done at this point in time, but Sati did not want to stay there, right? So Lord Shiva gave his principal, his main attendants that he has, and he sent them along with her and said, go. He sent them along. But he already told her, right? What is the situation? What happened, devotees? Pita bhavana java gai bhavani dakshitras sakahu na sanamani. So Sati Devi, now she enters the home of Daksh Prajapati, her father. What happens? She walks into the house and no one greets her. To start with, first insult. No one greets her. Sadar balehi mili ikamata. Right? Only her mother. Now, a mother's affection, a mother has something called as mamta. Mamta means sentimental attachment or affection that a mother has for a child. That is something that is very, very special, and it goes beyond everything else in this world that you can possibly think about. So imagine that mother seeing her child and knowing the father doesn't want anything to do with her and her husband. The mother feels very happy to see her daughter and she greets her. Right? Sadar balehi mili ekamata bhagini mili bahuta muskata. So her mother, along with her sisters, they welcomed her into the home. But this is where things get a little bit interesting. Right? Because now, Dakshana Kachu, Puchi, Kusalata, Daksh doesn't even ask her, how are you? How are you doing? What is going on? Pays no attention, no heed. Sati Biloki Jare Saba Gata. And when he saw Sati now, he became even more overwhelmed with rage at this point in time. Imagine that, eh? Seeing your daughter after so long, and that's how you're feeling now. Sati Jai. Before I tell you that, right? You see what anger can do to you, devotees? You see what having false pride can do to you? I wanted to take that into consideration. It is said that anger is like taking poison for yourself and expecting somebody else to die. That making any sense? He was so filled with all of that hate for Lord Shiva and the rage and everything that even his own daughter he could not look at with love. Picture that. That is a bad state to be in, and in today's world, unfortunately, we see this a lot. This is not only that, how much do you see that now? Not just in that situation, but many other situations in family. And it's sad that we live in a world where family members have to be living like that. It's unfortunate, you know. Where does the change start? The change starts with us. We have to start. We have to make the difference. If we don't, we'll keep waiting every day, and we'll keep saying, well, I hope somebody make the change, and I hope this one make the change, and that one, and nobody will do it. It starts with us. Right? That is very important. So here now, he looks at her with all this rage, right? Sati jai dekeu tabajaga katahu nadika shambhu kara bhaga. Then Sati went closer to look at the offerings that were being made there. And she saw that offerings were being made to all the devatas except whom? Except Lord Shiva. There were offerings being made to everybody except Lord Shiva. Now here, devotees, Sati Devi is realizing, hey, this is the power of Lord Shiva's warning. He told me if I go there, I will lose all affection and all of these things, respect, all honor, and everything would disappear. What happens? We listen. Dum Durge Mata, Om Shakti Mata.
Durge Mata, Om Shakti Mata.
So I'm only seeing one part of the crowd clapping, right? So while you're doing it, those of you that are not doing it, let me explain to you what clapping does for you, right? When I tell you, you'll want to do it. Trust me. When you're clapping, no, you're not saving yourself from mosquitoes. Right? That's not the purpose. Within the palms of your hands, you have three significant powers that are present. One is Brahmaji. You have the ability to create. Not so? With your hands, you can create things. Make roti and things. The second one, you have the ability to sustain. Feed yourself, you do different things to maintain things. That's the power of Lord Vishnu. And the third power you have is the power of destruction. You can take your hand to do that as well. Yeah? Lord Shiva. You have all three powers within the palms of your hand. When you clap, what you do? You activate those three energies. I've seen some hands clapping now. So I'm not telling you to do it for style. Everything has a reason, devotees. This will energize you and lift the energy throughout your chakras in your body, healing you, cleansing you, purifying you, taking you to higher levels of spirituality. So let's clap together. Together with faith, love, and devotion. तब चित चरे हो जो शंकर कहे प्रभु अपमानु समुझि उर्दय पाचल दुख न हृदय अस व्यापा जस यह भय महापरितापा तुम दुर्गे
दुर्गे माता, ओम शक्ति माता. तुम दुर्गे माता, ओम शक्ति माता.
जजपि जगदारुण दुख नाना सब त्यकत न जाति अवमान समुझि सुसति ही बहेउति क्रोधा बहुविधि जननी किन प्रबोध तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति माता तुम दुर्गे माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता ओम शक्ति माता. बोलो श्री शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय. So here now she realizes the force of the warning of Lord Shiva. Right? Prabhu apamanu samuji ura deu. Realizing this insult here now, and she's thinking not just the insult of her, but the insult of her Lord. Lord Shiva is receiving no offerings. Have you ever heard before? You can't do puja without calling the name of Lord Shiva. Right? That insult to her Lord, that is what is making her angry now. Not even to her in any way. She's not thinking about that. She's thinking about, oh, Lord Shiva is not being worshipped. They left him out. Jai Bhagwan. What injustice is this? Pachal dukuna hridaya sabhyapa. Right? She's filled with so much rage now. That grief that she had, it changed from grief. Remember I was telling you about the power? Right? It changed from grief now and it started turning into rage. Just say yah bhayu mahapari tapa. It is said, wow, this overwhelming pain that she's experiencing now here, this insult to her husband, Lord Shiva, in comparison to the pain that she felt from the separation for 87,000 years seemed like nothing. That is what is said here. The pain that she's experiencing from realizing everybody is getting worship here except my husband. He was left out. That is true love, not so? You stand for each other. There's something else you must understand. Shiva and Shakti is one. Shiva and Devi, they are one and the same. So insulting Shiva is insulting Devi. It's one and the same. within each and every one of us, not a lesson for you, there is Shiva and there is Shakti. So Shakti is Devi, right? Shiva and there is Shakti. Shakti don't mean something to be frightened of, right? So let me clarify that one time. So Shiva and you have Shakti. Shakti means divine energy, right? So Shiva is said to be the masculine aspect of you, and Shakti or Devi is said to be the feminine aspect of you, and everybody has it. In two main nadis or energy centers in the body. Two main energy channels basically, right? There are 72,000 or something like that. But there are three main ones, right? You have Ida, you have Pingala, and you have Sushumna. There are three. Sushumna is in the middle. That's the one that brings the both energies into balance. You have Ida and you have Pingala, you have masculine and you have feminine. The masculine represents Shiva, the feminine represents Devi or Shakti. When you get married, right, as a woman, normally when the wedding is being done, which side do you sit on? In the beginning, you sit on the right side. Say, Baba, that's because woman is boss. That's why you put on the right side. No. You sit on the right side, but then when the wedding is almost completed, you take your respective place on the left side. Why? Because before you get married, you are an individual being by yourself. Husband is his own person. When you get married, I see a beautiful couple here that I'm going to be doing a wedding for very, very soon, right? They're going to get married as well. When you get married now, you become one. You are no longer two anymore. You are no longer separated. See, Baba, what that mean? My money is their money too? Right? It means everything. It means that everything becomes one. That's why also when you tie in Raksha, for those who are unmarried, you tie it on the right hand. For those that are married, you tie it on the left hand. There's a mantra written with that as well. You can find it in the Kashika Panchang for yourself. So you don't have to say, Balmesh, tell you something that is opposite from what people are doing. I'm telling you, I'm educating you. Go and read the mantra and you'll see where it says the Raksha is said to be on the tied on the left hand of married women. Right? Because you now move to the left side, basically. So you become one. So there's a form with Lord Shiva and Devi that is called Ardhanarishwara, half man and half woman, showing you that both of them are there. Now in this world, the times that we live in, sometimes some people have it a little imbalance. Some have more feminine in them. And it's not a joke, it's serious business, right? It's the truth. I'm telling you where it comes from, it's science. The energies, the feminine energies are more predominant than some masculine. And then with some feminine, the masculine energies are more predominant. What you have to do? Through meditation and different forms of tapasya, you find yourself to bring yourself into a state of balance where you can now enter into the Sushumna to become more balanced. That is the goal for all human beings, basically. So you become a complete Purusha, complete being, basically, in other words. You become balanced. Right? So here now, when Lord Shiva is being insulted, Sati is being insulted because they are one and the same. They are not different. They are not separate. So she gets angry and she feels this pain and she feels this rage. Devotees. What happens? It is said that she looks at what is happening there and she feels this insult so deep that a fire starts burning within her. That Divine Mother devotee, she stands there, being angry, being filled with that rage. She looks at everybody there. She could not bear this insult. She started to speak in a very, very angry tone. Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma, Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma,
Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma,
Ma Amba Jai Jai Ma,
Amma Jai Jai Ma,
Jagadamba Jai Jai Ma,
Jagadamba Jai Jai Ma,
Ma Kali Jai Jai Ma,
Mahakali Jai Jai Ma,
Ma Shakti Jai Jai Ma,
Mahashakti Jai Jai Ma,
Dum Durge Mata,
Durge
devotees.
Durge Mata,
Dum Durge Mata,
Durge Durge Mata,
Om Shakti Mata,
Om Shakti Om Shakti Mata,
Ankali Mata,
Kali Mata,
Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma. Bolo.
Mahadurga Jai Jai Ma.
So now, Sati Devi, in an angry tone, imagine, I wanted to picture her at this point in time and picture her form. Sati Devi there is in that state She looks most beautiful. I want you for a moment, sit upright, don't slouch, right? Sit upright. And I want you to close your eyes. And while I'm describing, I want you to visualize. And I want you to see. That Divine Mother is so beautiful in whatever form, however you know her. But picture here at this point in time, wearing a white, beautiful sari. Standing there, looking most resplendent, glorious, divine, encapsulated by divine energy, glowing from all around her. Her hair is long and scattered and blowing in the wind. Her eyes are fiery, filled with tears, but at the same time, there's that spark of rage. That Divine Mother, she starts to speak to that crowd. And as she speaks to them, what does she say? Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Jai Jai Ma.
She says, listen, all of you, saints, sages, everyone present here who have listened or who have witnessed Shiva being insulted, soon each and every one of you will reap your due rewards. And my father too shall definitely face the consequences for his action. Whatever blasphemy or insult is heard, spoken, this is a lesson now, against the saints, Shiva, Lord Vishnu, the deities, the devatas. It is ordained that, if it be possible, the tongue of that individual should be torn out for that disrespect. Or if not, don't go tearing out nobody's tongue. But if not, that person should run away, closing their ears. You do not want to hear the insult of your Lord. You do not want to hear the insult of divine and respectable beings. That Divine Mother, she speaks to them. Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Jai Jai Ma.
She says, all of you will face your consequences for the actions that you have committed. Lord Shiva is the father of the world and friend of all. Yet this is the individual that my father wants to go against. And this body of mine, it comes from the seed of such an individual that insults Lord Shiva. Then, with my heart laying upon Lord Shiva, who bears this beautiful moon on his forehead, and the bull he has as his vehicle, Nandi, I shall immediately quit this body. And from within, that Divine Mother, she invokes Agni Shakti, and a fire flames and begins to burn that physical body. Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Jai Jai Ma.
Jagadamba Jai Jai Ma.
Jagadamba Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Shakti Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Shakti Jai Jai Ma.
As this body starts to burn, a terrible cry arose from everyone who was present. Why? They know what was about to happen, the consequence of their actions. Sati desecrated that yagna, and all the attendants of Lord Shiva, they started to desecrate the rest of the yagna. There was a sage here by the name of Bhrigu Muni. He started to protect that yagna, and starting to protect it, what happens? Lord Shiva is seated on Kailash Parvat. Seated on Kailash Parvat. He is seated in Dhyanam, meditation. His eyes are closed, but his third eye is open. And he's seeing this entire Leela playing out. He sees the love of his life. The body of her is being burned to ashes. And tears start streaming down of the eyes of Lord Shiva. What happens? Well, that fire starts to build inside of him. Shiva stands up. And as Shiva stands up, he begins to dance. And his dance, as he dances, that damaru starts to rattle. Dama 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 damaru baje. Dama 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 damaru baje. Bolo. Dhimi tak mridang baje. Dhimi ka dhim mridang baje. Har har Mahadeva, har har Mahadeva,
Har Har Mahadeva, Har Har Mahadeva,
Har har Mahadeva, har har Mahadeva.
Har Har Mahadeva, Har Har Mahadeva.
Now he dances and he dances. He is dancing a dance called Agni Tandava, the fire dance. As he dances, sparks begin to fly in all directions. As Shiva's rage is building, his anger, this Leela has to play out. It has to take its course, so it has to go this way. He dances. Agar bam 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 lahre,
Agar bam 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 lahiri,
bam 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 lahre.
bam 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 lahiri.
Shivola bandari sadhu shivola shivola.
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 And my Lord Shiva, he is dancing and his sparks are flying in all different directions. As he completes that dance, he stands there, tall and mighty and powerful. He pulls a strand of hair from his jata and he threw it out. As he threw it into the atmosphere, a most mighty and powerful form appeared. Veerbhadra, that mighty warrior standing there, dark hue in color, blood red eyes, swords in hands, and he's ready for instructions. And he says, Agya Diji, give me instructions. Lord Shiva says, Veerbhadra, go to that place of Daksh Prajapati, desecrate that Yagna, and remove the head of that vile and wicked Daksh Prajapati. Veerbhadra starts to run, and the thunder rattles, lightning, picture it in all directions as he rushes forth. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om Namah Shivaya.
Veerbhadra is rushing forth in the wind. He goes, and Bhrigu Muni, seeing what is about to happen, he is instructed by Daksh Prajapati to fashion thousands of soldiers to protect them now. You don't do your own thing so many times, and now protect me now. I want protection now. Those thousands of soldiers appear, and Veerbhadra rushes in, and he starts to remove them one by one. So quickly, in the blink of an eye, all of these soldiers are removed. Daksh seeing this, Bhrigu Muni seeing this, what do we do next? He had to summon the power of a powerful, powerful weapon. And most of you should know the name of it by now, because they made a movie based on it recently. The Brahmastra. That weapon was summoned by Bhrigu Muni to bind Veerbhadra to stop him. Because that's the only weapon at that point in time that could stop him. He summoned that weapon. It bounded Veerbhadra. Lord Shiva is seeing all of this now from where he stands. Well, he gets even more angry. He takes another strand of his hair and he threw it out into the atmosphere. What happens now? Blow Shari Shakti Jarama Mata Ki! Come now, man. All I can do better than that. Blow Shari Shakti Jarama Mata Ki! Jai! As he threw that strand of hair out, that divine mother appeared in the form of Kali Devi. He sends her now. Kali Mata, go and free Veerbhadra. Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Kali Jai Jai Ma.
Oh Mahakali Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Kali sets forth. Ma Kali is going forward. She's proceeding to that area where Veerbhadra is. Dum Durge, Dum Durge, Dum Durge Mata.
Durgi 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 Mata.
Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti Mata.
Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Mata.
Ankali, Ankali, Ankali Mata.
Ankali 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 Mata.
Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Amma Jai Jai Ma.
Amma Jai Jai Ma.
She reaches to that point. She reaches to that point where Veerbhadra is and she frees him instantly. Look at the power that Ma Kali Mata has. Frees Veerbhadra from the Brahmastra. And they destroyed all of those soldiers together. Veerbhadra now goes forward to proceed with his mission. He rushes into the palace of Daksh Prajapati. And even then, Daksh still didn't learn sense. He drew his sword from his waist and he's ready to fight. Veerbhadra rushed straight in front of Daksha. Daksh fell to the ground. Veerbhadra lifted his sword. And now, Daksh Prajapati say, well, sorry. And that's what he do. When you make all the mistakes in the world, now he start to beg. He held on to the feet of Veerbhadra. Oh Shiva, I will worship you. I will pray to you every day. I would give up all my other worship. I surrender. Worship. I will worship you. He starts to pray. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Bolo.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Veerbhadra had a mission, devotees, and his mission was not to forgive Daksh. With that sword in his hand, he immediately removed the head of Daksh Prajapati. And there were loud screams that came out in that audience. What happened? Veerbhadra went back and merged with Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva now left Kailash Parvat and he's coming to that place where his wife's body is burning. Eventually he reaches there. The lifeless body of Sati is laying there and the lifeless body of her father is laying there. The mother of Sati starts to beg Lord Shiva and pray and ask, give back life to my husband, forgive him. Our Lord is not that harsh, you know. He's a little merciful. He brings back Daksh to life, but he gives him the head of a goat. Because all the time you had a mouth to pray, all you better start chanting now, eh? All you better start chanting. All the time you had a mouth to pray, but instead of praying you want to hurt others and kiss them. You want to say things about the Lord. You want to insult. You want to put blame and all these different things. Whole time now all he can do is not a word can come from his lips anymore. Do not take your power of speech for granted. Your speech is Saraswati Devi. We'll talk about that another night. Don't take it for granted. He comes back to life and Lord Shiva takes that burning body of Sati. He's about to leave and he leaves. He's walking with that body of Sati on his shoulder, burning. Lord Vishnu sees this and now he has to separate, he has to create that separation now from Shiva for Shiva to go back into his meditative state. He takes his Sudarshan chakra and he splits that body into many pieces. It is said, according to knowledge and history and all of these things, that the pieces of this body fell into various places in India that are referred to as Shakti Pitas. So that is information for you. Go and research. They are called Shakti Pitas. Online, they will tell you there's about 54 of them or so. Some cases, some places, they refer to some of them, the main ones as Jyotirlingams. Do your research and you will see. It is said that there's one place where the tongue of the Devi fell that is called as Jwalamukhi. You go there and there's a blue flame, which is the hottest form of fire, lighting. You put your hand in it and you will not be burned. I know people who went and visited. I didn't get to us yet, but I will. There are many such places that are present right now in India. That body was split into pieces and it fell in those various places that eventually formed into various temples that are now worshipped. Devotees, don't take your life for granted. Don't take what you have in front of you for granted.
Durge, 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 Jai Jai Ma.
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 Ma Durga Jai Jai Ma.
Durga,
Sing, devotees.
Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Amba Jai Jai Ma. Jagadamba Jai Jai Ma.
Oh Jagadamba Jai Jai Ma.
Ma Kali Jai Jai Ma. Ma Kali Jai Jai Ma. Bolo Shri Shakti Sharma Mata ki Jai. That entire katha is present in my heart. As you can see, when I reach a certain point, I forget about the book. Because it's in my heart, deep in my heart. It's one of my favorite kathas because I can see everything happening as I describe it to you. Literally. Not figuratively. I can see every single detail that is happening. And that is a place that you want to get to, and that is a space that you want to be present in, devotees, where you can see that experience and you can feel it and you can understand exactly what is transpiring and why it is happening. Before Sati dropped that body, she asked for a boon from Lord Vishnu, that in every successive birth, she should become the consort of Lord Shiva. In the next avatar, where our katha continues tomorrow, Sati Devi is going to come in her next birth, take an avatar as Shailaputri Devi. As you all know her today, we worship in Shailaputri. She's coming as the daughter of the mountain king, who's going to be called Parvati. So tomorrow we'll continue with that katha as we hear when she comes in the form of Parvati Devi. And what happens then? Not a beautiful katha to continue with. And then we'll see where that Divine Mother takes us. At this point in time, our beautiful katha comes down and here this evening. We'll make preparation for our closing Arati. I talk about love so much, you see, keyboardists started to fall in love day. Jai Bhagwan. Devotees, I ask you all, please, Arati ke liye sab kara ho jaye. Stand as we join in our final Arati this evening. I ask you to offer your love a final time to that Divine Mother. Om. Om. Sajam Travarti Sanukta Mahna Yojadam Yadipam Grahana Deva Shatre Lokyam Diminapaham Dipam Darishyami
शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की।
सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। अम्मा
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल।
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल।
ये तेरे बेत चढ़ाया, ये तेरे बेत चढ़ाया। अम्मा सुनो मेरी देवी
पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
सुबह चूल तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे।
सुबह चोल तेरे अंग विराजे।
केसर तिलक लगाया, केसर तिलक लगाया। मैया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया,
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया,
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया।
नंगे पग तेरे आगे आया।
सोने का छत्र चराया, सोने का छत्र चराया। अम्मा सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा
पारन पाया।
ऊंचे पर्वत बनियो दीवाला,
ऊंचे पर्वत बनने वाला,
ऊंचे पर्वत बनियो दीवाला।
ऊंचे पर्वत बनने वाला।
नीचे शहर बसाया,
नीचे शहर बसाया। अम्मा सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये,
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये,
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये।
सत्युग द्वापर त्रेता मध्ये।
कलियुग राज सवाया, कलियुग राज सवाया। अम्मा सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया,
तेरा पारन पाया।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
मोहन भोग लगाया, मोहन भोग लगाया। मैया सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया,
तेरा पारन पाया।
जानो भगत में या तेरे गुण गावे,
जानो भगत में तेरे गुण गावे,
जानो भगत में या तेरे गुण गावे।
जानो भगत में तेरे गुण गावे।
मन वांछित फल पाया, मनवांछित फल पाया। अम्मा सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया।
अम्मा भवानी शारदे, जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे, बोलो।
अम्मा भवानी शारदे, जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे।
अम्मा भवानी शारदे, जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे।
अम्मा भवानी शारदे, जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे।
जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे, जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे, जगदम्बा भवानी शारदे। बोलो श्यारी शक्ति शर्मा माता की जय। At this point in time, devotees, we clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads in prayers. We thank Bhagwan for blessing us with this most wonderful opportunity to join in devotions this evening. We all pray with faith, love and devotion. Om Mantrahinam
प्रियहीनं
Bhaktihinam
जनार्दनं
Yatpujatam
मया देवा
Paripurnam
वरस्मे
Tvameva Mata
जपिता त्वमेव
Tvameva Bandhush
जस्का त्वमेव
Tvameva Vidya
प्रवीणं त्वमेव
Tvameva Sarvam
मम देवदेव
Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishnamurram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Hari Ram Ram Hari Hari
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
Om Shanti Shanti Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. With faith, love and devotion, devotees, the final time tonight, we lift our voices as we chant Vikshi to Bhagwan. Bolo Shri Shakti Sharma Mata ki Jai, Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, Shri Mahadev ki Jai, Hare Nama Parvati Pataye, Har Har Mahadev. Jai Sitaram, everyone. Aram se baithiye, seat yourselves most comfortably. Aarti will come to you. Prasadam is there, and meals have been prepared lovingly by some wonderful devotees today. So to all the hands who have helped in the preparation of puja, in the preparation of the prasadam, in the preparation of the bhojan, may Bhagwan bless each and every one of you, and everyone who have come together to make this possible for us. To all you wonderful devotees, I hope that you will take home at least one thing that you learned tonight, apply it into your lives together. Let's uplift ourselves physically, mentally, and spiritually. When you come tomorrow and bring somebody with you so that they can benefit, that they can partake in this devotion that we are performing. I'll hand over now to the group while the artist is passing for them to sing beautiful bhajan for you.
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सरावसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा रुचि तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा के अंदर पीकर गुर की विष का प्याला दुनिया को अमृत के डाला फिर शिव के भोला बाला भोलेनाथ जी तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा गुंजे हे नाथ शंभुनाथ रे जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा गुंजे हे नाथ शंभुनाथ रे तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा गुंजे हे नाथ शंभुनाथ रे जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर द्वार दया को खोलो हमको तीर सहारा है तीर सहारा है सब सागर को पार दिल ने तुम्हें पुकारा है तुम्हें पुकारा है कर कृपा त्रिशूल धारी तुम भक्तों के गिवारी तुम पूजे दुनिया सारी भोलेनाथ जी तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा गुंजे हे नाथ शंभुनाथ रे जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा गुंजे तेरे सर पे गंगा की धारा माथे पे चांद चकोरा गुंजे हे नाथ शंभुनाथ रे जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर जय जय भोलेनाथ शंभु महादेव शिव शंकर